everyone, I'm Linsey Davis, and you are watching ABC News Live Prime. Thanks so much for streaming with us. One of Hollywood's favorite leading men and a two-time Super Bowl winner are teaming up for something special. A new Hulu comedy series called Chad Powers. Glen Powell plays a former college football player going undercover for a second chance at glory. The story is inspired by a sketch featuring former NFL quarterback Eli Manning. I had a chance to sit down with Glen and Eli to talk about making the next great sports show and the tips and tricks Eli gave Glen to make sure he had success on the field. You might not recognize him, but he is a familiar face.
We're going into combat on a level no living pilot's ever seen.
From the flight deck to the football field, actor Glen Powell is back in action. But this time he's not flying fighter jets, he is faking eligibility. The Hollywood heartthrob is now sporting a fake mustache and fabricated backstory as he goes undercover to infiltrate a struggling college football program, posing as a 19-year-old walk-on. Think The Waterboy meets Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hello! Ah! If you feel it.
Many may remember Powell as the star of the blockbuster Twisters.
Are they doing Titanic?
They're gone. Show's over.
Oh my God.
Or as the romantic lead of Anyone But You. Powell's been acting since he was a teenager.
Don't get too trashed and I win bonus points.
He made his debut in 2003's Spy Kids 3D Game Over.
You sure know how to fight.
Later, the Austin, Texas native would earn major roles on TV and film, including Scream Queens and Set It Up.
Does Rick have good Yankees tickets?
No. He watches from the bleachers like a common peasant.
Yeah, of course he does.
But his major role in the 2022 blockbuster Top Gun Maverick
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
kicked off his ascent to leading man status,
So what's the biggest difference between the real you and your occupation?
earning him a Golden Globe nomination in Hitman.
My name is Gary Johnson, and I'm a fake hitman.
People on these games never come back.
I'm not trying to get myself killed.
And later this year, a leading role in the Running Man movie, based on the Stephen King novel. But in Powell's latest role,
For Russ Holiday, a chance to do something special.
he suits up
They can't get him. This is insane. What was Holiday thinking?
in the Hulu series Chad Powers.
You know, in this helmet, I feel strong.
Powers toward the end zone.
While Powell co-created and stars in the show, he didn't actually create the character himself. That came from an actual former quarterback.
Eli Manning stays on his feet, airs it out down the field. It is caught by Tyree.
Specifically, a former two-time Super Bowl MVP quarterback named Eli Manning. Long before Chad Powers, football was in Manning's blood as the youngest of three sons born to former NFL quarterback Archie Manning. His older brother Peyton Manning is also a Hall of Fame quarterback. Now he and Peyton host the Manning Cast during Monday Night Football games, analyzing games live from the couch, often featuring guests from Tom Brady.
It's great to see you both at the same time.
To Bill Murray.
You guys are good luck.
To former President Obama.
This is a highlight of my week, man.
Then there's Eli's Places on ESPN.
How do you find your walk-ons here at Penn State?
Where Manning visits famed college football programs. It was during a 2022 episode at Penn State that Chad Powers was born.
How young can you make me look?
Eli became Chad to try out for Penn State's football team as a walk-on,
Hey, Chad Powers. So go.
turning heads among coaches and players who didn't have any idea they were practicing with a former NFL quarterback.
He's ineligible. That mean I didn't make the team, coach? No, you did not.
Eli eventually took off the disguise, but Chad was about to start an even longer run.
We had you on
Omaha Productions, Peyton's production company, explored ideas about how to turn Chad Powers into a series,
So I'm not the starter?
with Powell making it his own and the brothers serving as executive producers. I had a chance to sit down with both men, the actor and the former quarterback, and learn more about how they turned a one-off prank.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. All right.
Hi, Glen. Lindsay.
Hey, Lindsay. Nice to meet you.
Into a new series that just might score big. How did you all first interact and meet?
On a Zoom, maybe like 3 years ago, you and Michael Waldron kind of had this idea for Chad Powers that they wanted to tell me about and pitch Chad Powers as a possible show.
Glenn, what made you decide after seeing this, what was really, I guess, intended just to be a one-time skit, that you said, there's something here with Chad Powers?
What made us laugh is that, Omaha put out the word to the town that they wanted to kind of do something with Chad. And Waldron and I are huge college football fans, and probably more so than any other writers in Hollywood. Our agents asked us, would you want to do something with us? And we were like, oh my God, that's the best sketch ever.
He is not a freshman. No, he's right. It's this kid. He definitely looks like he could do something.
What Eli did with that, just improvising, from within this mask, to know that Eli was under that mask, and he created this, just off the fly, this amazing, history with this guy, and there was a real heart to this character, and we were like, okay, there's something there. So we just started writing, again, kind of Mrs. Doubtfire in the world of college football, and pitched it to these guys. And the more we kind of kicked it around, the more we realized it was hilarious, but also loaded with a lot of heart. And with these guys, a part of it, we knew that we could make something really big and cinematic, the, definitive football show. And the best football on screen. So it was amazing. And we knew there was something there, but I don't think we knew it was going to be this epic.
I'm going to do a Mrs. Doubtfire, but with football.
You here to try out? What's your name?
Jay.
And last name?
Mrs. Doubtfire actually had kind of been influential initially for you, that you were like, I want to do something like that?
Well, sometimes when you're pitching something, you have to kind of break something down into its simplest terms. So we told them we're going to Mrs. Doubtfire this thing. And then sometimes those sort of North Stars kind of guide you creatively, because Mrs. Doubtfire is a movie that sort of contains all those flavors. And you can't do that thing again. So we just, in our pitch, that's what we said. And hanging a lantern on what we were doing was kind of a fun little bit for the audience.
And there is something definitely lovable about Chad Powers. Was that all just impromptu when you're like, think fast, run fast, think fast, run fast?
Here you go, baby. Think fast, run fast, think fast, run fast.
In the moment you make that up?
Yes, in the moment. I'm going to try out at Penn State. What's up, pal? Chad Powers.
Ferris.
Ferris?
Nice to meet you.
This flow might slow me down too, I'm a little nervous. All these kids are, 18 to 20 years old. I'm 41 years old at the time. I have to run a 40-yard dash, which I'm nervous about. I haven't done that in 20 years. And I knew I had to get to the throwing part. Once I started throwing the football, I was going to look different than anyone trying out for a college football team. But to run a 40, I'm like, I can't pull a hamstring. If I pull a hamstring, the whole skit goes down. Fast Chad, you said it, Ferris. So I'm saying think fast, run fast, but I'm really thinking don't pull a hammy, don't pull a hammy, don't run that fast right here. And as I started kind of the skit, I really wanted to keep a low profile because I knew I looked differently. And once I started throwing, the coaches started asking me questions and just started making up lies about my mom being my coach. I was homeschooled. Let's just run a go route, baby. Let's just go. Let's get on tape. As the workout kept going, the receivers kind of saw that, hey, this guy Chad can throw it pretty well. So we start throwing routes.
Pretty well.
Throwing routes versus the defensive backs. They're all like, hey, Chad, I'm running a post. Hey, Chad, I'm running a comeback. Kept coming to me. Hey, Chad can maybe help me get on the team. So they kept coming to me to throw them the routes.
I know you always do these kinds of different skits on Eli's Places, but where did Chad Powers come from?
We wanted to do a show on walk-ons and just the history of walk-ons, the importance around college football. And so now, walk-ons are kind of becoming a little less important or relevant just with NIL. And then, we found out through our research, Penn State still does these open tryouts to invite people to walk on to the team. So called Coach Franklin and asked if I could try out for the team and go undercover. Coach, to truly understand the walk-on experience, I think I need to try out.
We can give it a try, but I worry you'd be a little bit of a distraction.
Let me handle that. And he loved the idea. Coach Franklin, Chad Powers. I'm going to be your starting quarterback.
Is that you, Eli?
How'd you know? He really almost felt that it was a prank that he could do on his coaches. And he was almost like, I wonder if someone came in that was actually worthy of making the team, would they recognize that? Or are they just kind of going through the motions?
They certainly did. All right, let's get you guys to each rate each other, because I know that Eli actually plays a coach of the opposing team on the show.
Powers toward the end zone.
Who the f- is that guy?
What did you think about his acting chops?
I mean, technically Eli's playing himself. You know, he's like almost playing himself visiting the Ole Miss sidelines,
right?
Which is really fun. I mean, the funny part is he had everybody. We just asked Eli to do some fun stuff like on the day, and he had the whole crew dying. I mean, the best part about it is you never really know what you're gonna get. Thank goodness he's like comfortable in front of the camera, and he's good at improvising and making people laugh on the whole thing. So sometimes people clam up and they get weird on a film set. It's like very much not the case with him. You were like 2 takes and done.
Well, I was right next to your dad, so you couldn't be very comfortable. So your dad got a little cameo.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a regular thing now. How did that come about that you include Dad making these cameo appearances?
Well, I mean, they've been doing cameos since since I did Spy Kids.
Both of your parents.
But now they're getting to square up with guys like Eli. You know, they're getting bigger and bigger roles because he's next to Eli. He's in all like the trailers and all that stuff. So and also just college football is like my family's love language, you know, and it's something that everybody comes together for every Saturday, and so it's been, really fun to kind of put all that love and experience like into a show, because I think it bonds a lot of people in this country together.
With regard to your parents often making these cameos, were they supportive of you when you first said, I'm going to go pursue acting full time?
I'd never seen an example as a kid of someone moving out to LA and it working out, right? So I think they were always like, hey, let's just make sure you don't go out there, get your ass kicked and lose your soul. I'm very close with my family, and nobody wants to see their kid get destroyed by their pursuit of their dreams, but they were so supportive every step of the way. Like that's where I'm very lucky, is I think a lot of parents try to prevent their kids from going through those things, and I'm very grateful that they didn't try to dissuade me from chasing the thing that I've always wanted to do.
After my cameo in Chad Powers, I told my parents I was going to LA to take up acting, and they totally they went no.
They didn't support it?
Absolutely they're not supportive at all.
Absolutely not.
It's a terrible decision.
I support you in
I
your
don't
pursuit of acting, man. Anything
Please
you
don't.
need, we're here for you, buddy.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
All right, Eli, let's give a little critique of his football skills.
I think he definitely nailed it. And Peyton and I were hard on him. Like he was sending some video of like him throwing, him doing some drills. I was like, all right, now we need your cadence. Like we're very concerned with your cadence of like how you call, the hut.
Hit.
What you say, blue 80, set hut, the sequencing of that. We got to hear that. We got to make sure that's dialed in. And I thought he got better. Early on, saw him in Top Gun throwing. Not his best performance, I thought, on the football. A little concerned when I saw that. I'm like, oh, we're going to have to spend so much money on football coaches. There was so much baby oil on that football in Top Gun.
Yeah, it's so true. That was like when we were taking it out to the town and kind of like pitching. The pitch always took a detour of us just giving each other about my throwing style. And he's like, hey, you guys are going to have to put in some more money for football training and the whole thing. But Eli and Peyton were watching this tape, and I thought they were just going to kind of go, try this, like maybe looking at the footage, maybe not. But they were super specific about what I was doing. Like even like you were the one that was saying like, hey, what's your sort of superstition? Like, are you licking your fingers? Do you wipe it on the towel?
Yeah, what's your like habit? Every quarterback has like a thing. So like Drew Brees always messes his shoulder pad. Peyton always fixes his right knee pad.
What was your thing?
I kind of do something with my shoulders, kind of running back. I'm like, you got to have this like twitchy kind of thing that that's very unique to you.
Glenn, I think you had said at one point, because you left University of Texas to pursue acting full time, that you were going to go back and get the degree. How close are you to that goal?
Did you know that credits expire?
No, I did not know
they
that.
Do?
They do.
They expire?
Yeah. Who knows? You could learn backwards. I'm like almost in education debt now. I'm going backwards.
You have to start all over?
No, I don't have to start over. Most of them stayed intact, but I thought I was closer than I was. I will graduate in spring 2027.
Oh, all right. Not too
right
far.
around the corner.
Not too far.
So you're like a sophomore.
It's not great. It's not great.
University of Texas, you guys actually have like a little relationship off of the field, right? In that your nephew, now the quarterback at your alma mater. How far do we think that the Longhorns are going to go?
It's been so fun getting to see him back in Austin for Sam Houston State and watching Arch put up some serious points.
And Manning keeps it himself, cutting up, gets into the end zone, touchdown.
The Texas offense really came alive. So it's really fun to now be pals with all the Mannings, as good as it gets.
We have to ask about Running Man. You know, it's such a classic for many people from their childhood. What made you decide you're going to do this role? What can we expect from the new movie?
I mean, the movie is fantastic. It is nonstop. It's relentless.
Have you ever wondered if this game is rigged?
Guess we'll find out.
Edgar Wright, who's one of my favorite filmmakers of all time, you've seen what he can kind of do with action, like Baby Driver, and even in like Hot Fuzz, you know, but you haven't really seen him completely unleashed. And this movie, he's hitting in a new frequency. It's like really, it's awesome. It's like awesome.
Still ahead.
Eli Manning, you're the MVP. Congratulations.
From two-time Super Bowl winner to entertainment enthusiast.
I had told everybody I really had no desire to do TV.
How Eli Manning turned a career on the field into a growing empire of football, television, and philanthropy.
Whoa!
The name's Powers, Chad Powers, the next great Penn State quarterback.
Well, if you throw as well as that mustache looks, then I think you're going to make the team.
I got a hose. Always have.
Don't come out throwing deep right away. Get some completions in early.
Nope, going deep.
What do you look for now that you have Omaha Productions? How do you decide the kind of content that you want to create and include?
Well, I think something that feels very genuine. It's obviously a lot of things around sports, but kind of bringing in the lighter side of sports. You know, that 90 minutes that you're on the field and playing those games is very intense, and it's physical, and it's emotional, and it's very serious. But there's a lot of time where you're not, and you get to be yourself, and it's kind of two different people. So I think showing the lighter side of things is important. 16
seasons, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Was there a time when you're winding down this historic career that you're thinking, I think I'm going to do TV?
No, I think it was actually the total opposite. I really had no desire to do TV. I did not want to get into broadcasting. I had told everybody, I will not be good at broadcasting football in the typical sense that it is done. And I know Peyton had been recruited to do it for a long time. I knew he would have been very good at it. And then when I retired, he kind of came to me with the idea that, hey, do you want to watch football from your couch and kind of make fun of me, and we'll have different guests come on? I'm like, yeah, I mean, you know, oh, you'll pay me for that also? I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. I thought that we would just do that on Sundays, just kind of watch football and hang out. And that's kind of the start of the Manning cast, which has been awesome because it's kept me around the game of football. I still get to talk with current players and quarterbacks and coaches that I've met and known over the years, and get to hang out with my brother and come up with fun ideas. 3 boys growing up together. All of you played football at one point. Was this typical in the Manning household? Yeah, I mean, I think that was kind of how we grew up. You know, Saturdays was college football and Sundays was NFL, and we're watching games to start, and all of a sudden, kind of in the middle of the first quarter or early second quarter, we might be like, all right, let's go outside and play football for a little bit. Let's do some amazing catches or play some games, or friends are over and it's fourth quarter, let's come watch the fourth quarter, we got a close game. So it's kind of watching the important moments, kind of how the Manning cast is in that sense, where during the slower moments, hey, let's go have some fun, let's have guests on, let's kind of get away from the X's and O's or exactly what's happening in the game. But if it's a tight game, let's go watch it and analyze it. Tackle Kids Cancer. Talk to us about why that was something that was near and dear to your heart. Well, we're celebrating the 10th year anniversary of Tackle Kids Cancer, which has been amazing through Hackensack Meridian Health and the biggest hospital system in New Jersey. And so Hackensack was a sponsor of the Giants, so I'd gotten to know them. I'd visited the Children's Hospital numerous times during my career. And, it was always rewarding to go in there and try to, lift the spirits of these kids. And after a while, I just said, well, that's not good enough. It's not helping these kids get back home, get healthy. And so with Tackle Kids Cancer, you're raising, pediatric cancer research, you're doing trials and clinics, you're doing inpatient care, you're doing sibling support, systems. And so we started 10 years ago. A lot of these kids were 7, 8, 9 years old. Now, a lot of them are graduating high school. They're going off to college, seeing them ring the bell and beat cancer, which is so rewarding, and to see that we are making a difference. 10 years in, we've raised over $26 million. Unfortunately, not every story ends that way, and you call the parents of one of their kids that they lost, and that's also the motivation that we have more work to do to try to end pediatric cancer and make sure that if kids do get it, they're going to get the best treatment, they're going to get well, they're going to get back to being a kid again, going to school, being with their family and friends, playing sports, doing all the things that kids should be doing.
And speaking of the things that kids should be doing, you are a father of 4, your kids play sports. What's it like for Eli, the dad / coach on the sidelines?
Well, I try to I always sign up to be the assistant coach. I'm like, I don't want to be the head coach. I just want to be assistant. I kind of want to sit on the sides and watch, but after a while, if I see something, I'm like, all right, I got to step in here. Like, we need to be doing this. And just, little things like that. But, my girls are now 14, 12, 10. I kind of coach them in softball and basketball, things I knew a little bit about. I don't know if it was my coaching style or just coincidence, but now they're doing swimming, tennis, and ice hockey, sports I know nothing about. I didn't, I grew up in New Orleans. I've never skated, I've never done anything, so they're all playing that. My son is 6. He's playing, basketball and flag football and baseball, so get to coach him and be around. But, for me, got about a 40-yard throw here to Charlie. I lived my athletic career. I did it, I'm not trying to live my life through my kids and their athletic career. So I really do stay off to the side. I try to support them. It's about, the fun around sports. That's what my memories were growing up. It's being with my dad, my friends, playing pickup games of all sorts of different sports, and I want to recreate that with my kids.
When you look back, or do you ever take the time when you think about the career that you've had, do you ever relive any days, or just that was a highlight, or are you now always focused forward?
No, I think it's fun to relive some of the great days, and that's the great thing about teammates and coaches that you stay in touch with, and you get to talk about funny things. Sometimes at the time weren't so funny, but now you can laugh about. And I'm still very close with Coach Coughlin. I talked to Coach Coughlin yesterday. Kevin Gilbride was an offensive coordinator for 10 years, and then so many of my teammates that still live in the area. Our kids are growing up together. They're playing sports together. So that's a great thing about sports. It's the connections you make, it's the friendships you make, and especially the guys that you win championships with. I mean, there's a special bond. There's an immediate hug every time you see these guys.
Had a lot of fun with those guys. Our thanks to Glen Powell and Eli Manning. Chad Powers is now streaming on Hulu. Join us for ABC News Live Prime weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for watching.